It's Week 9 of the National Football League. And up next, we'll see Jalen Hurts. He's coming off a quality showing last week, well over 300 yards in that one. It's the Eagles and the Cowboys, and it's kicking off next on Madden NFL 24.
It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup. We are all set to go as it'll be the Dallas Cowboys taking on the defending NFC champs, the Philadelphia Eagles. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? Kevontae Turpin now from his end zone. And he returns this to the 22. So the Cowboys ready to go on offense for the first time, and it is their now 30-year-old quarterback, Dak Prescott, who leads the way.
Prescott has some things to clean up from last season, leading the NFL with 15 interceptions in only 12 games played. But we can't overlook the good. 23 times. An 8-4 record as a starter as he led the Cowboys to consecutive postseasons for the first time since 2007.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The numbers there for Kamara from a week ago. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. You look at this Eagle defense. They were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
They forced 7 turnovers. 7. Man, think about that number now. That's supposed to be a lucky number, right? Lucky for one side, unlucky for the other.
He'll fire deep downfield from Lamb. And unable to connect, incomplete. Give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. And the Cowboys going to bring on Brian Anger to punt on 4th down. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So here come the Eagles, the defending NFC champs, led out by a man who was the runner-up to Patrick Mahomes at MVP balloting a season ago. Of course, that's Jalen Hurts.
His game last week reminded me of the old song, Accentuate the Positive, because that's about all he did, right?
Yeah.
3 touchdown passes, over 300 yards in the air. Receivers happy.
And they got the win.
Got the win. If you're a running back that likes to catch passes, they're happy as well. Big-time game.
They'll start on the ground with Swift. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And tip your cap to DeMarcus Lawrence. Nice play defensively. The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here's Hurts to throw. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. And now a pause because we got A.J. Brown dinged up on that last play, and they're going to have to get some medical attention to it. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. The numbers there in last week's game for Smith. Well up over 100 yards, and one of those catches found his way into the end zone.
I do think he'll be hard-pressed to duplicate those numbers this week, though, because he's gotten their attention, so they will double him on every snap at a minimum. In some cases, they'll triple him.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Hurts sets up to throw it. To the sideline and incomplete.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. And they are trying to create some separation within the division. And look, CD, I know that this is still the first half of the season, but this is a big matchup no matter where it falls because these are the top 2 teams right now in that division.
And if you can build a bit of a cushion as you head towards the second part of the season, that allows you to survive the expected injuries, potential upset losses, all of those things, and still be in good shape.
And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. And still about 3 yards shy of the first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. Well, this is the reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Runs like that might get him another award.
Yeah, thunderbolt right out of the gate, huh? How about that, hitting the defense hard early, and, of course, carrying the momentum from last week into this week's game.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Prescott. He'll fire this deep for Gallup. And this is caught at the 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Gallup, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. So back onto the field here come the Eagles for their second drive. And they entered play on a 2-game win streak, and then they've got the open date on their schedule next week. So this is a group that's really looking to hit the break on a high note.
And this will obviously be a tough game for them, but go ahead and play this out with me, partner. If they win here and make it 3 in a row, they get to heal up after that. You've got to think that's an ideal setup and a worthy goal to play for in this one.
Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and learning all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a different story. Long night.
And only a couple there as he'll take this up to the 47. You look at this Cowboy defense. They were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
I don't know what the actual percentages are. I don't know the analytics on when you create 5 turnovers or takeaways in a game. But coaches have always told me, when you create a number that high, your chance.
And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So here are the Cowboys to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. First down, Prescott. He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb, 78 yards. And the Cowboys are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
The point after is good, and that'll make the score 14-0. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. Well, let's shine the spotlight on the former Georgia Bulldog, DeAndre Swift, who's set to begin this next drive. Those are his numbers through roughly the first half of the season, and given that, you'd have to think he's on pace for a 1,000-yard campaign.
Steady as he goes, steady goes the offense. But you know what else is happening, too, because they are a team now recognized with the ability to run the football. You've got to be able to throw it better now, right? Better throwing lanes, better opportunities for the guys downfield, maybe more one-on-one coverage, which you should be able to beat easier. Yeah, he's establishing not just a tone, but an identity for his team.
And that's a discussion we had a couple days ago in the team meetings, talking about this running game, opening up the passing game. We'll see if that continues to happen. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Flush to his right. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish it as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. And they will take over 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
On 2nd down, Kamara. Broke a tackle, but not much room there. Just up past the 25, no further. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. They're looking for Lamb, but it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all. That's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
Eagles set and ready for their next offensive drive. And they'll start with great field position, trying to get back into this one. It's 1st and 10 here. The drive will start with an option going left. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
This one out quickly to Watkins. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. Zero hesitation that time. That was get ball, throw ball.
Yeah, turn into a smoke route. If you see the coverage off the receiver, doesn't matter whether you call it a run or not. Just take the ball, get it out to him.
Hurts. And that will be incomplete. This Cowboy defense looked ready for that third down pass. Brings up fourth. And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on fourth down. They're going for it with the option right. And this is going to be nowhere close. Needed some inches and ended up losing yardage. The Eagles unable to convert there on fourth. And the Cowboys defense is going to get them the football back. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Looking to throw. Prescott. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now it's 3rd and 4. Well, this defense for the Eagles, they were quite formidable in the win over Philly a week ago.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game. And I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one. But 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. A pretty sizable deficit here in the 1st quarter. This defense probably need to get off the field in those situations on 3rd down.
And you and I both know in this huddle before that last 3rd down play, that's exactly what they talked about. Let's make a play. Let's get off the field. Let's reverse the momentum. Instead, they got hit with another 1st down, almost back to the drawing board.
Vaughn on 1st and 10. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Now 3rd down and 7. Prescott to throw it. And that is incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
This is taken at the 18. And some strong running. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Now 2nd quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession. Ball on the 30 now. Here's a 2nd and 7. Throwing is Hurts. Pass incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
From the gun, it's Hurts. And this pass broken up. Now the contact well-timed there, and now 4th down. Here's Braden Mann now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Fielded just inside the 20. It's a net of 40 there. Punt of 48 and a return of 8. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Dallas offense set for this next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control. He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
This offense so far on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. To throw is Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Vaughn. Finding space at the 40 as he'll get this one up to the 44-yard line. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first.
And the Cowboy first down.
On the draw, it's Vaughn. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. The Cowboys at 6-1 now through 7 weeks of the season. They coming on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
On to punt now, Anger as he boots this one away. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
And he takes us beyond the 45 before going out of bounds. 13 yards as they've got the connection working. His 2nd catch in a row, 1st down. They'll set up a throw. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. He's over 40 yards here in the 2nd quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. And this is caught! Touchdown! 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Well, I don't think that we're ready yet to say the route is on, but they have certainly looked near flawless here in this first half, and now an extra point away from making it 21-0.
Yeah, and your experience led you to say that because we have both seen those 21-0 leads come and go in this league. but this one feels pretty darn secure. And here's the other part. Even when people chip away at it, it forces you into being almost perfect on the other side, doesn't it, in order to try and mount a comeback.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. L3ve and the Eagles back out there. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you get a chance to come back to it when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it's second down.
At the 30-yard line.
Now back to throw. He'll get this into the hands of Swift once again. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 16 and an Eagle first down.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Swift going to try up the middle. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. 11 more on that one and another first down.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice gain. Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Second down, here's Hurts. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. And the Cowboys are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 46. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's got his man. It's Gallup. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
A 10th carry for Kamara. It was Josh Sweat who got him down on the defensive side.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 66 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
On the ground with Vaughn. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the 11-yard line.
Now Prescott. Well, this one into the hands of Vaughn. Showed off the footwork, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal. They'll try to surge ahead with Vaughn. And he is out of bounds here. 6 yards puts him right on the doorstep, but now it'll be 4th and goal. Well, let's see what they do. They're knocking on the door here in the second quarter.
And you know what you look at on your play sheet? Your 2-point conversion plays, because you've drawn up a number of them in today's football. You don't just have 1 or 2 for the game. You have more like 6 or 7. Which one do you like here? Because that's essentially what you're going for right now. That spot of the field, call one of those and go get 6.
On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. No big surprise, Micah Parsons doing what he does so well, dropping him for a loss. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. The Eagles on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. From the gun, here's Swift. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down. The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he'll just punch it out of there, and it's not a great kick. Taking on the midfield logo. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here.
At the Eagles' 48-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Prescott now. Going to take a shot for Gallup. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And this, you'd hate to say that a drive in the first half must end in points, but you're down 21-0. They're going to have to get something going fairly quickly.
I would agree totally with that, because if you're going to mount the comeback, it's going to have to come in bits and pieces. It doesn't just all come at one time, right? We haven't seen anything more than a 6-point touchdown ever in this game, right? So that's how it has to be done. Get points on the board now, start your comeback, but you're exactly right. Let's get it going right here in this spot.
It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Got an open man here, and it's KJ Hamler. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
They're going to look to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Hurts dangerous when he runs that football. He's got a first.
Eagles, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 43.
Back to throw here. And that's out to the flat for Swift. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll make it second down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of it. And he will go down. A Cowboy sack. DeMarcus Lawrence racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
Out to the left there and complete to the tight end Goddard. Yeah, he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. The Eagle passing game looking good on this drive. It's a first down. Hurts sets up to throw it. This is Smith with a grab. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it, so on comes the field goal unit. The kick by Elliott is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well, and kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, all right, Brandon, thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL as we are officially into the second half of the season. We'll start our tour in the entertainment capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada. And it's the Raiders out in front as they approach halftime. 2 touchdown passes there for Jimmy Garoppolo. From there, we'll head east to check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Indianapolis Colts. Adam Thielen, a touchdown grab. Lastly, we head to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough to check on the Patriots. And they were winners in that ball game as they beat the visiting Washington Commanders. Ramondre Stevenson, a touchdown run in the victory. This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up, ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly. Both these teams making their final halftime adjustments. We're just about ready to get back to football. So for the call of the second half, we get back up to Philadelphia and Brandon Gott.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. Well, they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
Hurts throw there, complete to Hamler. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
A pretty good-looking run there on first down. That'll go for 9 yards, just short of the line to gain.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
44-yard line.
They go play action with Hurts. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to have it here just past the 25.
Well, I certainly think that we're seeing a big reason why this team has struggled to put points on the board so far, because too many of their drives have ended in turnovers already, and we still have almost a full half of football yet to play.
The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They had the big halftime lead. Their defense just helped them out further by forcing the turnover, so things are starting to look pretty rosy.
They certainly are, but they've got to be careful about getting complacent, though. They still need to go out and run their offense efficiently.
And the slot man goes in motion left. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 83 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. He's turning in a pretty impressive performance running the football, and a big reason why they have this nice lead.
And in days gone by, we would clip this out and put it up on the refrigerator, wouldn't we? Clip out the box score. Nowadays, not too many newspapers out there. Maybe you screenshot it online.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
2nd down and 8.
Kill! Hey, 47! Go to 54, go to 54. Why ain't?
Here's Prescott. He'll let this go for the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Throwing, Prescott. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A gain of 37.
Another big play right there, and this is where, as an offense, you can really put the hammer down. You've got a double-digit lead, but those other guys, they've been hanging around. A touchdown here could put this game out of reach, and that's a strong step towards getting it done.
So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Now a pitch out to Kamara. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Alvin Kamara, his 8th rushing touchdown on the year, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the 3rd quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it, pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now.
Point after, right down the middle. And they open the lead up now to 25. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. Philadelphia's offense ready to go again. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Cowboys are going to get the football here at their own 23. Boy, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's come together for you. The big guys up front have created space. You've run through it, and you've probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. They start the drive with Vaughn. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Prescott. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, after watching him ring the bell that many times and put the ball in the end zone throwing it, you had to figure they had to bring some type of pressure. They had to change things up on defense.
And able to get to him, put him on the ground, so maybe just something to throw him off a little bit.
Yeah, that had to feel a lot better for the defensive guys. They've been getting carved up in this one. To finally knock him on the ground and force an incompletion, that's got to be a sigh of relief.
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Dallas. That's pulled in at the 32. It'll be a 41-yard punt, give them 5 on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession.
It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
And the stiff arm made it a pretty little run. Not a huge gain, but a nice chunk of yardage.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Off the play fake, here's Hurts.
Complete. Smith, and I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
Hurts finding Smith for the Philly first.
That's good for Eagles. The Eagles take over 1st and 10.
Hurts.
At the 46-yard line.
And he's got this down to the 35. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
Eagles, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Throwing is Hurts.
And this is incomplete.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Here's Hurts to throw.
Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Jake Elliott on for the field goal. A 47-yard attempt.
The kick by Elliott is good. And they're back within 3 scores as it's now a 22-point game.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And he'll be taken down at the 18. Give the tackle to Hassan Reddick.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game, and I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Fielded at the 33. Nifty move. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. 53 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Once again, it's Swift.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Cowboys' 39-yard line.
They run out of the gun with Swift.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide because that's prime pick 6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the 3rd row.
And he missed it. It's no good. And the deficit will hold at 22.
And this is a commentary on today's kickers and just how good they are that a coach would think about running his guy out there to try a 59-yarder. Here it backfires on him, but as a kicker, you have to appreciate the confidence that they showed in you.
So they tried the 59-yarder and missed it, and now this offense starts just 1 yard shy of midfield. Eluding the pressure right. He finds his man, complete. That's Ferguson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again.
He'll take it inside the 25.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
They'll come up 2nd and 7. running behind center with Vaughn.
And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Oh, Prescott stripped.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
And forthcoming, a field goal try for the Cowboys. From the left hash, this from 46. And this one is no good. He missed it. And that'll keep this a 22-point game. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
And he'll get this up to about the 40. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts.
And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown.
And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half, and for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out, and as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
Extra point attempt to come here. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6.
And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters.
You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. This is 3rd and 9. They'll set up a throw. Open man is Goddard, the tight end. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th, and we've seen them do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
Now they'll work from the 29 on 2nd and 6. They run it again with Kamara. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. 123 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Kamara up the middle. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end.
That will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. This short throw caught by Goddard. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
At the 31-yard line.
He'll drop to throw. He delivers another to Goddard, complete. And Goddard going to have an Eagles 1st down as he'll get this up past the 35-yard line. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Looking to throw. It's caught on the right side at Smith. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's an Eagles 1st down on a gain of 11.
That's good for an Eagles. 1st and 10 at the 46.
Again, he'll drop to throw. This short throw caught by Goddard. And he'll take this from one 47-yard line to the other. A gain of 6. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 36. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. On 1st down, Hurts. And his throw is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Hurts throw taken in by Watkins here. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. It'll be a gain of 16 for number 16. They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. Again, that's Watkins. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it's 2nd down.
And 4 at the Cowboys' 14-yard line.
They'll look to throw again. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end Goddard. And the Eagles are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Hurts sets up to throw it.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown.
Jalen Hurts.
A 5-yard touchdown run.
And the Eagles are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter.
Jalen Hurts with another touchdown rushing. 13 touchdowns, led all quarterbacks last year on the ground. No one else had more than 8. And, of course, we all remember the 3-touchdown game in the Super Bowl. So call running plays or scrambles. Jalen Hurts is dangerous.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25.
Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field.
But not that any of the points would be needed, but CD, they've got enough time left here. They could definitely score on this drive, maybe even an ensuing drive as well, if they really want to drive home this landslide victory.
Yeah, we're certainly about to see just how aggressive they want to be here down the stretch. And what some coaches do is they try and meet it halfway, meaning they want to continue to run their offense, but they'll put in a lot of backups to do it and then tell the opposing coach, hey, I had to get them some work too. I can't just let them sit over on the sidelines all the time.
On second down, it's Vaughn.
After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Dallas. Taken from just outside the 30. We'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return.
And they will take over first and 10.
And out and out come the Eagles.
Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. On first and 10, it's Hurts.
It's caught, Smith. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And that'll bring up a second down in just a couple.
Second and 2.
From the gun, it's Hurts.
Over the middle, complete. That's Watkins. And he caught it up. And it's picked up by the Cowboys. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble's going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And now here is another interception.
Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys Cowboys are going to take over at their own 13-yard line.
Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And they'll run the option to start the drive.
And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 12-yard line.
Trying to run down some clock with Kamara. Accelerating, and off he goes. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. Give him 18 on that one, and it's a Dallas first down.
It carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today.
Jordan Davis, just a monster on that play, stopping it from going anywhere.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away.
Down.
Behind the chain, 2nd and 12. Up the middle, it's Vaughn.
And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Dallas. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return.
And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. DeMarcus Lawrence picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. That is caught. It's the tight end Goddard. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain of 32 that time. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the fourth.
No touch that.
Throwing is Hurts. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
2nd down. Here's Hurts.
He finds his man, complete. It's Watkins. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
Hurts. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Here's Hurts to throw.
He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Steps away to his left, and he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you could just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover, after turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football because they just felt like if we go out there, we're just going to turn it over anyway. So it was really, really a stellar performance.
So for Dallas,
They moved to 7-1 on the year with the victory.
and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this as they're not back in action until week 11. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.